I think we're going live, guys.
Sweet.
This is cool. All right. Figuring this out as we go. All right, ladies and gents, just wanted to thank you all if you guys are streaming in. Um, I've got Zach Brown on here with us, part of the Beyond Chaos Studios crew. Zach, want to give a little shout out to you for being such a great part of our success, and thank you for being such an amazing addition to our team and our family. Um, dude, tell me how you got into D&D.
Uh Man, it had to be right at the start of 2020, like as soon as COVID hit and we got sent home. I was in school. I was a sophomore, and like I was just so bored, and I couldn't really hang out with friends because we couldn't all hang out together anywhere. Nothing was open, so I just scoured the web for things to do. Gaming became kind of boring, so I came across Critical Role, and then a bunch of other, like Dimension 20 is another good one that got me just hooked on D&D. And from that point on, I was like, I joined a couple campaigns instantly. Didn't know what I was doing at all. Didn't learn the rules. Nothing. Just jumped in because I was super excited. Then after some of those fizzled out because life and all that good stuff happened. Um, took a break for a year. Then I was like, I really need some D&D in my life, uh, and I couldn't find a group to join. So I just said, screw it, man. I'm just gonna be the DM, I guess. So as I was learning how to play D&D, I was being a DM. So I learned all the rules on the spot. Tried homebrewing my own world, and yeah, made that campaign last for like 2 years.
Wow, how hard was that?
Um, Honestly, it initially wasn't hard at all. Like, I knew what I wanted to write, so I wrote down the start of the story and the end of the story. And the hardest part for me was figuring out the middle, how to get from A to B.
Okay.
And honestly, I try to have like general backbone, but follow like a sort of a storyline, but that didn't work.
Nah. Is it because
Yeah.
of the team just derailed the idea, or how did that transpire?
Um, Honestly, this campaign that we're in right now is my first in-person campaign. So there's always been like scheduling issues or people not like being courteous to each other online. There was just a bunch of just online problems, stuff you couldn't do if you were in person.
Yeah,
Bunch of
makes sense.
scheduling's all messed up, so it was a lot of people came, a lot of people went,
Yeah.
and yeah, right now we have a pretty solid group that's very consistent, and it's pretty good. But the reason why, to go back to your point, is I wasn't experienced in storytelling. I personally, not the most creative kind of person at all. To be honest, it's just my brain doesn't work that way. But it was a lot of back and forth, going between three fucking towns across the map over and over and over.
Jeez.
But yeah,
So what
but I didn't know.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I didn't know how to expand it further on
Okay.
because people kept coming in and out of the campaign. I
Uh
had maybe like two original members who were there at the beginning, Buck being one of them, and one of the people I'm DMing in my current campaign.
can you tell us who
They've been
Buck
there.
is?
Oh, he is my father. Yeah.
And
I got him hooked on D&D.
And everyone, for those of you who don't know, Buck is our current DM. So
He is
he
our
is
DM as well.
actually, yeah, so he's actually part of our campaign, and is a strong DM. We brought him into this recent campaign that we're doing, and I guess one of us just couldn't do it one night, and Buck was like, "Oh, let me try," and wow, he became like a really good DM for us. We're all learning, rolling through the punches, and trying to learn as we go, but yeah, your dad really became a really good DM for us. So Zach, I don't mean to cut you off, but what I really want to understand is how you created your content. How did you become one with your DM style?
All right. Well, when I started my first campaign, I had no idea on the lore of Faerun or any D&D lore at all. I was like, I have no idea, but I really want to do it. So I did something that I was the most knowledgeable about that I can kind of transfer over, which was Greek mythology. So
Ooh,
it's kind of based on like the Greek pantheon. The guys are like the chosen ones, chosen by the gods to save the people, kill the titans, and
oh wow,
yeah, I was
jeez.
like, yeah, because that's what I was most knowledgeable about, and I feel like I could have gone more in depth with it. But after the years of just playing D&D, being the dungeon master, I learned the lore of of Faerun and D&D, so it's just a lot easier now. I can answer people's questions when they have questions. Uh, but my DM style is it's very loose,
Loose.
very similar to how my dad DMs us. We
Got
have
it.
like we have like a forward backstory, but if I don't know what the right move to go ahead is and they really want to do something, I'll just roll the dice. If they beat it, they do whatever they want. It works.
Man.
Uh,
Well, in
yeah.
that type of style, then how does that, let me ask the right question here. So, how do you develop your story based on a very loose story like that? Sometimes you have a story and you keep it really structured. Like Critical Role does a very good job at keeping things very
Mhm.
scripted and keep things very, flowing. They're randomized here and there, but how do you create the story with just letting it roll?
Well, I guess I don't know what I'd call it. Like invisible railroading, I guess. Make them
Okay.
seem like they have the choice to make when uh which if I want to move the story forward, we can move the story forward. But if they just want to have like a chill session, keep going, doing their thing, totally fine with that as well. But whenever like there needs to be like a pivot point or stuff starts to get a little derailed, a little too much, then subtly set it back.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, what
Yeah.
is your best moment as a DM? What is your best moment or best story or eventful moment that you've ever had in your DMing situations?
Honestly, the campaign I'm running now, Chris of Strahd, um, they didn't roll an insight check to the father of a vampire spawn who he has locked up in the basement because he doesn't want to kill his son and he doesn't want to give him blood so he doesn't turn into a full-fledged vampire. Um, so and the party was very adamant on killing him.
Oh
Very
man.
much so. So they're trying to convince the father to be like, this is the best option. And then I'm like, honestly, it is, but the book says he wouldn't allow it, no matter how much they try to pry. He'd rather die before letting his son die.
Wow.
Um, yeah, but he was also the priest, and they had to have the get priestly rites done on a dead body for a proper burial for the quest that they're doing.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's part of the storyline. They have to get like the body blessed of whoever
Ooh.
died. So they're like, they noticed it by rolling a perception check. Someone is screaming in the church basement, and then investigated it. Found out, oh, it's a vampire spawn who tried to revolt against the Dark Lord Strahd and failed and got turned into a vampire spawn.
Ah.
So they're like, um, so the priest starts lying to try and get him off his back. Like, well, I feed him every now and then uh with my own blood, and no one rolled an insight, even though
Ah.
earlier he was preaching about him not doing it, and it just, I guess, it didn't catch on because but they're like, yeah, okay. They're like, all right, we'll deal with this when the burial's done the next day, because that's be done at dawn. Then they get attacked in the church, a forced encounter. They eliminate everyone instead of dead bodies in the church. So one of my players tries to they got this dream pastry, which in the book
Dream
says
pastry.
yeah, that
Okay.
was they bought from a hag, basically, who didn't know they
Oh,
were
of
a hag.
course they did.
They didn't know it was a hag because it was some sweet old lady,
Oh man.
fucking selling pastries in the middle of the night, called dream pastries. But that puts the person who eats to sleep for uh, a certain amount of dice plus 4 hours.
Oh wow. Okay,
So
that's
it is very potent knockout pastry, I guess. So one of my players picked it up, drenched it in blood of one of the fallen enemies they did. They're gonna like try and sedate the vampire spawn and kind of like
like treating him like a
figure out what to do
Doberman
from
with a
there.
steak.
Kinda,
That's
kinda, yeah.
crazy. Oh man.
But um, they go down there. They throw the patient because he's chained up, and uh, he eats it. But he passed his Constitution save, and he has advantage
Oh
because he's a
no.
vampire against being charged and all that. So they passed it, and then um, the priest comes down, hearing the commotion, and the vampire spawn breaks free of his chains, becoming a full-fledged vampire
Oh
because it
no.
had blood for the first time. And it made all my players kind of freak out, kind of scream a little bit, and just it was amazing because, well, actions have consequences, but
So what
the
happened there?
dice
Does
rolled
that
how they rolled.
is that like the attack of the spawn right there? Like is that they're in battle now or what happened there?
Yeah. Originally, they're just supposed to be
Oh
knocked out.
dude.
They dealt with all the enemies. They used 80% of the resources of spell slots, items, and all that in the initial fight earlier. So doing this, they're like, all right, we just take care of them real quick. Don't really need to do much. They had a full fledged fight for like 3 hours. One enemy
3
versus the four of them,
hours.
basically.
Jeez. So what
Because he had a lot of health, and they weren't using the radiant damage or to stop him from regenerating.
oh.
So one of them finally rolled high enough to like get information on like the lore of vampires. What we know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like yeah, they regenerate, but they won't if they take radiant damage
Oh,
or
jeez.
and all that.
Jeez, dude.
So it
That
was.
what during our sessions we're always trying to figure that stuff out. We always when we're going to a battle, you got to figure out how to if you know anything about that creature because if you don't, you screwed.
Oh no! The thing is, they tried multiple times. The highest they rolled was like
Ah.
an 8, multiple
Oh,
times
that's
over.
awful. Yeah. That sounds familiar.
So so then every 3 rounds, I'm like, well, you could see if the father of the priest knows, maybe. So just kept trying it out, and then they finally killed him. Used all their resources.
Jeez.
Almost died many times.
God,
Yeah, it
how much
was.
health did that spawn have?
136.
Oof, that's quite a bit.
But they're all level 3, so they all have like 20 to 30 health.
Okay.
So they can tank like maybe 2 or 3 hits
Okay.
before needing like a little heal, and it's the 4 of them plus 2 NPCs.
So what were their characters? Kind of go explanation on those.
Uh, there was a berserker barbarian, a monk, uh, a bard, a cleric, and then I threw in a Goliath fighter.
Oh, okay. So you got some pretty heavy hitters in there.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
again, you're wasting 80% of your resources. You're not going to have much left in your tank.
Oh no,
So,
and the thing is, they were rolling so well too. It was just they do like at the end of the turn they do like 20 damage.
okay.
10 of it gets regenerated every turn.
Ah,
After
yeah.
every time it comes back to his turn, it's 10. So they're basically doing half damage,
That's
and
crazy.
it's resistant to everything, basically non magical. So it's even half again.
Mm,
So it was
nah, man,
yeah,
that's a rough encounter too. We've been through
yeah.
some rough stuff, but that's
Yeah,
pretty
so
bad.
but that has been my all-time favorite like moment in D&D where like they realized, "Oh shit, we messed up bad and now we have to somehow clean this up."
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And that's rough too to be a DM and then you almost kill your characters. Like
Oh yeah.
that's rough.
I
Jeez,
almost
man.
TBK'd them in session 0 as to bring them into the campaign.
Yeah.
And there's an encounter where I had to throw 3 dire wolves and 3 normal wolves up
Okay.
against them at level 3. They're still level 3.
That's not bad.
Um, like I said, I was rolling super well. They were rolling super poor. I brought 2 down to like 0 HP, not dead, but like knocked out. So half the party was out, and they barely scraped by.
Man, that's crazy. And they started at level 3.
Yes.
Wow.
Uh, Curse of
That's
Strahd usually takes place at level 1 with like 6 people, six players.
yeah. So if you're
So
cutting it in half, that's why you had the NPC characters.
yeah,
Uh,
and I brought them up to level 3 as well because I knew level 1 would be impossible
oh yeah,
to
100%.
get through any of the counter stuff.
Yeah,
I
dude.
threw them to level 3 because there were 4 of them instead of 6, and I just set up the campaign just how it was. And then yeah,
Yeah,
so
dude.
that's been the funnest so far.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds freaking crazy, dude. I'm ready to do a vampire encounter in our sessions. We'll see what happens. We'll see what Buck does. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm sad that you're having to back out a little bit. You know, life gets in the way, and it is what it is. But in all honesty, man, you've been a really awesome, like, crazy hit to our success. So it's been crazy, dude. So for instance, for everybody that doesn't know, oh, what was it? Darnell you played?
Yep.
Darnell? Explain Darnell a
Well,
little bit.
that was my second character. That was my second character in our campaign.
Well, your first character lasted literally session 0, so that was a nightmare.
He lasted for like an hour,
Yeah, not
honestly.
even.
Yeah. Not even. Yeah.
Well, explain a little bit about Darnell. Explain a little bit about your beginning encounters with us.
All right. So,
Mind you,
yeah.
everyone, the person who got me into D&D is actually his uncle, Alex Roberts, and he was our DM for this for a little bit, and man, he really knows how to play the cards with it very loosely. But Zach, tell me about Darnell, man.
All right. So originally, my first character I made for the campaign. Well, this is the campaign that kind of brought me back into D&D again. Because I took a little hiatus because life got in the way and all that again. But Alex was like, "Hey, let's do this thing." I was like, "Let's do it." So I made a rogue who's supposed to be like a spy kind of character. Um, I did not play him that well. He died instantly after the first rounds of rolling.
You want to tell us why he died?
Well, we were supposed to be gathering information on on something, and then my character was following the head of all the guards
Yeah,
to
you
his
went into
house.
somebody's house, a guard's house. You went into a guard's house. What did you do
But
next, brother?
he was blasted drunk, and I was like, oh shit, he caught me in his house. So I was like, I was like, you know what? I just like maybe he's so drunk enough that he's like singing shit. I don't know. So I kind of just like,
Oh, man.
ooh, I'm not real, and rolled poorly in that.
You want to talk
And
about shitty rolls, y'all? This man rolled the shittiest I've ever seen. Even worse than I've used to roll. I used to roll and be like, I'm going to do this crazy acrobatic attack and then flip over and do this. Yeah, I didn't do that. I tripped over my own foot. This guy did the same thing.
oh yeah, mind you, this is the first time rolling this session as well.
Oh my god, yeah, that was awful.
Um, so I know, trying to freak out the guard, making thinking I'm not real, didn't work at all. Not even close. That was a big stretch. Didn't work. So then I was like, well, I could try and escape, or I'm already in too deep. This guy knows what I look like. We're gonna fucking jump him real quick. That didn't work as well. A little rogue tries to jump a guard. Didn't work
You
at
want to tell me
all.
what you rolled on that?
I was rolled in that one.
Yes, you did. You rolled a nat
Rolled in that
one.
one. Yeah. I was like, nope. He said you guys can grapples you, put you on the ground, and then carries you out. And then tied all his limbs to four different horses and his head, and then that was the end of the Watcher.
Yep, the Watcher just got pulled apart piece by piece. Yep.
Yes, he did.
But however, we're running short on time here, and I apologize, everyone. But I had to tell you guys that Darnell and my character Kratos was like the attack combo. Dude, you would roll in there, guns ablazing, ready to go, and middle of the fight, you're like head to head. You're this tiny. What are you? What is Darnell Mooney? Explain.
All right. Darnell of the Mooney was originally a ranger with a wolf companion. He was a gnome too, so he would ride on his little wolf into battles, crossbow, all that cool
Yeah,
stuff.
doesn't he like turn into like a blood hunter, like werewolf kind of deal, or what's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex wanted to do like a whole character arc for Darnell. I was like, well, you can't really do one with the Ranger, honestly. So his idea was, why don't we not make you a Ranger anymore, but a blood hunter, a werewolf. I was like, that sounds pretty sweet. So Darnell the Moon and the wolf's name was Ruby Red
Yep.
combined into one in the bottom of like a cellar or something. We found this ancient place under the sea, and that's when the transformation happened. And he became the fucking impossible to kill little gnome wolf man.
Because you're so shifty and tiny. Like you're gonna go up to a freaking what was it, a bugbear, and we stood right in front of it and said and looked up to him and going, "Come on, you little bitch, let's go." And and then, dude, just your rolls were incredible during those sessions too. Like it was just unbelievable. And then Kratos comes in with the silvery barbs and make sure, dude, that is like honestly my favorite thing as a wizard. Silvery barbs is the best thing it could possibly ever find. And this it just made you so tanky and not expectedly either.
And the thing is too, if your silver barbs failed, or if I really did get hit, the damage was halved.
Yeah.
Because it was a werewolf.
Yeah,
So
it's insane.
I had like 100 and something health at level. I think we were like 5 or 6.
Yeah, dude, I think that's what
Something
it was.
like that, yeah.
It was insane. I don't understand.
I just boosted my constitution to the max because I was like, well, I'm gonna be a front runner. I have to have health. But the thing is, I wouldn't get hits, and when I did, you backed me up. And if that didn't work, I just take half damage.
Yeah, dude, it was
And
insane. Yeah.
and I just do so much damage. I got 3 attacks, one with the scimitar and two with my claws. It was
Honestly, guys, Blood Hunter is one. If you do it right, Blood Hunter is one of the most OP characters you can possibly create. And for being a gnome, because you're like 2 foot, I guess, like
yep.
that's it. Just makes you even more tanky and impossible to hit. Man, your character was just so cool, and I'm just so sad that it all got kind of derailed at the end. But
Yeah.
Emerald City was a really cool kind of like concept to a campaign. But
Yeah.
we're trailing off. Everyone's got lives that they've got to deal with, and that's what we're here for.
Mhm.
We're trying to just in our free time be able to release and play some D&D. So
Absolutely.
Zach, dude,
But yeah.
thank you so much. I appreciate you being on here with me. There's more to come. This is a good start to our podcast. I'm really excited where this is going to take off. I was just telling my wife the other day and my best friend, like, dude, this is going to be a really cool deal. You starting getting
Oh
this
yeah.
going with just strictly D&D. I love it. So
Dude, I'm excited.
yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm glad to have you on, man. And guys, you're gonna start seeing some more sessions with Zach Brown here. He's not gonna be joining our sessions for D&D on the Monday night loads, but we're gonna try to make him an essential part of this campaign and this podcast. So, Zach, again, thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, everyone. I
Absolutely.
appreciate your time, and let's play some D&D.
Absolutely. Time to rope in dice.